see. So what we had previous time? So we had Yaakov. Yaakov was running away from Esav because Esav wanted to kill Yaakov because Yaakov took blessing that belongs to firstborn. And the second reason to run to another place was to find a wife, right? So in previous parashat hashavuah, Yaakov found not only one wife, but two wives instead, and also had a lot of kids, around 12. And after this event, Yaakov wanted to leave this family of Lavan, and it was not so easy. They was discussing how much should Yaakov take, how much should he leave at this place, about property and animals, flock. But in the end, I think they got to agreement. They made hashavuah. I'm sorry, not here. Just trying to find this inside. At the end. Brit. So they make a covenant between Yaakov and Lavan. Gal-ed, that they will not have future claims towards each other and will not hurt each other. That's interesting. So this was the end of parasha. And then Yaakov leaves. So in our parashat hashavuah, Vayishlah, Yaakov planned to meet Esav and make peace with Esav because Esav wants to kill him. So Yaakov's thinking that if he will give presents, it will help him. So let's see if it will help him or not. So parashat Vayishlah starts Lamed Bet Dalet, Bereshit 32, pasuk 4. Vayishlach Yaakov malachim lefanav el Esav achiv artze seir zde Edom. So Yaakov sends malachim. I'll take also English translation. Easier. Malachim, it means messengers. If you want to send someone, that they will give, they will pass a message, for example, or they will do something for you. It's called malach. Messengers. Good. So Yaakov was not where Esav lives, was not in Edom, and he sends messengers to Edom. And what was the message?
How you can distinct if it's the angelic being or someone who just has a message with him?
Yeah, it's a good question. The meaning of the word changed. In Tanakh, it's messenger, but in oral Torah, in our sages, they're using this word for specific a messenger, which is malach, which is angel. So we need to learn what means angel. But here, it doesn't written angel. And overall, angel, it's very difficult concept we need to learn. We have God, we have people. So, for example, in the book of Bereshit, we have Bnei Elohim in parashat Bereshit, if you remember. So this is a specific term, Bnei Elohim. It's not Malach. So Malach is something very technical because they didn't have phones.
And at the end, we have the cherubim.
So Kruvim is something different. Kruvim is type of animals, right? Kruvim is in the book of Shmot. Okay, so it's not Malachim also.
No, but who's the guarding angel that the mankind doesn't go back to the garden? It's
Kruvim, not malachim. Oh, you're right. So malachim is for messengers, and Rashi emphasizes malachim mamash. So it's not clear what Rashi means. Mamash. Mamash means exactly. It's not something else. Okay, so let's see what's the message. ויצב אותם לאמור, כה תאמרון לאדוני לעשו, כה אמר עבדך יעקב, עם לבן גרתי, ויחר ויהי לי שור וחמור וצאן ועבד לשמך, וישלח להגיד לאדוני, למצוא חן בעיניך. So this is a short message. You should say like this to my Adon, my master, Esav, that your servant Yaakov said like this. In Lavan garden, so I was for some short amount of time with Lavan, and this is the reason why I meet with you so late. This is type of relationships when you thinking that you're ashamed of something and you start immediately to say that it was justified. You're wrong, but it's justified. Vayihili shor v'chamor, and when I was with Lavan, I had, shor means a flock of animals, right? I have a lot of cows, v'chamor, a lot of donkeys, tzon, I have a lot of sheep, v'eved, I have a lot of servants, v'shevcham, and slaves. And now I'm sending a message to inform my master. It's very important in the Torah. We see it a lot of times. How I translate it? To find favor in your eyes. So if you could have good relationships with someone, we're using this expression that in your eyes, I'm finding chen. Chen, it's favor, good. So you looking good at me, and I can see it in your eyes. So it's very important what I see in your eyes, how you look at me. So I'm trying to do something to influence how you look at me, right? And this is the message is peaceful message. Yes. וישוע מלאכים אל יעקב לאמר, באנו אליך אל עשו וגם הולך לקראתך, ו400 איש עמו. So the messengers coming back and making report that they came to Esav, and he's also coming towards you. So on one hand, it's good sign that maybe Esav wants to meet with Yaakov to make peace, but the messenger says, 400 ish imo, 400 people with him. So it can be a good sign or bad sign. It's not clear, because Yaakov also had a lot of servants and slaves. We don't know how much. So 400, it's a lot. For example, when Abraham bought Machpelah, it was also 400. And also when Jews was in Egypt, it was also 400. That we can suggest that this number represents a lot. So how Yaakov reacts? Yaakov was afraid, because Yaakov thought that Esav wants to kill him, and he have army. So 400 people is an army of Esav. Right? So what Yaakov wants to do here, vayachas. So it's a strategy, right? You need to not put, we have this expression, when you put all the eggs in one basket, right? So it's very risky, right? Because if this basket will be in danger, so you will lose all the eggs. So this is why you need to put eggs in different baskets, right? So shnei machanot. So Yaakov creating not one camp, but two camps. Why he doing it? Vayomer, he explains things. Im yavo Esav el machane ha'achat v'yikahu, v'chaya machane nish'ar lifleta. So it's very interesting about Yaakov, that Yaakov afraid, right? This is his what defines him. We will see it more. So here Yaakov afraid, and this is why Yaakov thinks if Esav will come to one camp and attack it, then the other camp will will run away and will be saved.
Do we have any information in which camp he was?
Interesting. Interesting question.
And who was with him? In which camp he was?
So what? We'll see it in the future. Yes. So we need to check the numbers, right? So there is a first camp and there is a second camp. Who was in the first and who was in the second, and then we can calculate where was Yaakov. We will see it soon. So Yaakov now starts to pray. ויאמר יעקב אלוהי אבי אברהם אלוהי אבי יצחק אדוני האומר אלי שוב לארצך ולמולדתך ואיתי ועמך. So Yaakov says to God, and he describes who is this God, the God of my father Abraham and the God of my father Yitzchak, the God that's saying to me, you need to come back to your land, and I will do. You'll be good. קטונתי מכל החסדים וכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדיך. So again, this hierarchy that Yaakov is very small and the person that he talks to very big. So this time is God. קטונתי, I am very small מכל החסדים וכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדיך. You've been very loyal to me, that you did to me. כי במקלי עברתי את הירדן. So when I passed Yarden, I had only my makel. This is tool when you use staff. You use to when you walk for a long distance. ועתה הייתי לשני מחנות. But now I have two camps. Interesting. And so after Yaakov praised Hashem, he starts to ask for something. This is the structure of prayer, right? First you say in praise, and then you ask, "Hatzeleni na, if you could save me, miyad achi miyad Esav, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esav, ki yareh anochi oto, because I'm afraid of him." Yareh. Pen yavo v'yikani em al banim. What was the fear of Yaakov? That Esav will come and attack em al banim. We have this expression in the book of Dvarim, when you have bird and eggs, right? So it's forbidden to take lo tikach em al banim. It's forbidden to take mother on kids. Em al banim. Interesting how it's translated. Mothers and children alike. So it means together, right? Mm-hmm. So Yaakov afraid that all his family is in danger. Because when Esav decided to kill Yaakov, it was only Yaakov. But now it's not only Yaakov, right? So if Esav will attack Yaakov, he will attack also his family. So now Yaakov is weaker than before, basically, right? ואתה אמרת היטב איתי עמך. So Yaakov reminds to God what God said. היטב איתי עמך. God said, I will do good to you. ושמתי את זרעך ככל היום. Yaakov reminds to God that God said, your children will be like the sand of the sea. אשר לא יספר מרוב. You cannot count how many sand in the sea. So God needs to protect Yaakov now. So it was the prayer. וילן שם בלילה ההוא ויקח מן הבא בידו מנחה לעשו אחיו. And Yaakov stayed for the night in this place. Which place was this? Machanaim. This place was called Machanaim in previous parashat we saw. Malachei Elohim, the messengers of God. Malachei Elohim. ויקח מן הבא בידו מנחה לעשו אחיו. So now Yaakov preparing mincha, which means present, to Esav, his brother. and Torah specifies how much was this present. Izim matayim, 200 izim, goats. Ut yashim esrim. Yashim is also a house animal. Esrim, 20. Rechelim matayim ve'elim esrim. Rachel, this is a female sheep. Ail, also ram in English, ram, male sheep. Matayim ve'esrim. So you have 220 and another 220. So overall 440. So again we have this number of 4 and we have 100 or 10, which represents a lot. Gmalim meinikot uvnehem shloshim. So now we have 30. Gmalim, it's camels.
I think this is the first Rashi comment I learned.
This
is the first Rashi comment I learned.
Here?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, we will learn also Rashi. So let's finish the list.
Gmalim
meinikot uvnehem shloshim. פחות 40 ופרים 10, אתונות 20 וירים 10. So very big amount of house animals. Gmalim, so the camels was and with the kids 30, and now we have bigger animals, cows 40, ufarim and bulls 10, atonot, and on the end we have aton, which is female donkey, 20, va'ayarim, ayr, also some kind of animal, 10. Let's see Rashi. ולכן כולם הזכרים כדי צורך הנקבות. Interesting. So Rashi pays attention to how much
male to female.
So female was much more. Yeah, it's logical, right? Because you need one male and a lot of females. So females will make you kids, so you need more females, right? But you don't need that much males because they don't make kids, right? It's logical.
Yes.
בראשית רבה דורש מכאן לעונה אמר בתורה הטיילים בכל יום פועלים 2. עונה. So we have mitzvah of עונה. So the husband is obligated to have intimate relationship to his wife, and in everything in oral Torah we discuss about how often he should do it. So it depends on the work
and the fortune or something like this.
So first about the work, profession. Tayal, poel, chamar, gamal. Sapan. So it depends what is your work. I'm not really familiar with this work. Tayal, I'm not sure. So the second poel. Poel is worker. So worker, 2 times per week. Chamar. Chamar, this is someone that works with the donkey. I guess it means
who's carrying, who's working harder. And so you can see in the animals because the sheep, with sheep you can't work. The sheep is just there.
Yes, so the intention how many time you at your home and how many time you at work, right?
Exactly.
So the first example
you see many sheep and in a very big the ratio between the sheep and the male sheep is very big, and it's very often. And the bull is working harder, and so it's less. And the donkeys working even harder and even less. And that's why the ratio is always getting smaller. And the camel is the longest. This is someone who takes a ship or who's working on the ship, and that's why.
Yeah, because Rashi tries to connect this halacha to this pasuk. Yes. So first goes halacha. So if you, so I guess Tayal, this is someone that comes back from his work to his home, so he can be with his wife every day, right? And the second example is Poel. So I guess Poel goes to work and doesn't come every day, so he needs to be with his wife 2 times per week. So Hamar, this is, you have a big car, like cargo car, and you go from this city to other city, for example. So you're not at your home, right? So you need to be with your wife at least 1 per week. And then we have Gamal. Gamal, this is also with this truck. I forget the name of this truck. But you go to big distances, so 1 per week. You don't come to your house every week. So this is why this person needs to be with his wife at least 1 for 30 days. And last example, Sapan, yes, goes abroad the sea to other country, achat l'shisha chodashim. So he needs to be with his wife at least 2 times per year, right? So then Rashi tries to make a connection between this halacha and our parasha. I guess it's for Rosa. Let's see. Or maybe it's some mail. I need to check. Роза, ты можешь подойти, там кто-то пришел? Okay, I'll need to check. Okay. Hello. Guten Morgen. Der beiden.
What is this?
Something for the kids. Okay. Okay, so let's come back to Yaakov and Esav. ויתן ביד עבדיו עדר לבדו, ויאמר אל עבדיו, עברו לפניי, ורווח תשימו בין עדר ובין עדר. So he gives all these animals to his servants, Eder levado. So every type of animal, a different group. And he says to his servants, Ivru lefana, you should come before me. So it means that all the flocks comes first, and only then comes Yaakov. You should make space between every flock. So it's the second message now, because Yaakov doesn't come first. So it means that the first group needs to say a message for Esav from Yaakov. So when Esav will meet this group, and he will not see Yaakov, so Esav doesn't know who it is, right? So Esav asks, Lemi ata, who are you? Where are you going? So who owns this? So then they need to answer, Le'avdecha leYaakov. It belongs to your servant Yaakov. Mincha hishlocha. This is the present to my master Esav. V'hine gam hu achareinu. And Yaakov also comes after us. So we can see that he's afraid, right? Maybe this is the reason why Yaakov comes last. ויצב גם את השני, גם את השלישי, גם את כל האורחים האחרי העדרים לאמור. הדבר הזה דברו אל עשיו ומצריכים אותו. So every group needs to say the same. The second group also needs to say that it is the present to Esav, and Yaakov comes after us, and the third group needs to say the same, and also all the others that comes after. Interesting. So we can see that Yaakov was the last one. ואמרתם, גם הנה עבדך יעקב אחרינו. So, and also you need to say that your servant Yaakov comes after us, כי אמר, אכפרה פניו במנחה הולכת לפניי, ואחרי כן אראה פניו, אולי יישא פניי. So you see a lot of faith in this pasuk, 4 times. So you might ask, why Yaakov comes last, right? It's strange. For example, if there is a meeting...
Знаешь, где Катя? Она приходила, нет?
Не было сегодня.
Не было сегодня? Я не видел.
Нет, мы одни.
Where Jacob was last.
Yes. So, for example, if you have a meeting like we follow politics today, a lot of presidents like Trump and Putin. So first they come, they shake hands, and if there is a present, so after they meet, you give a present, right? So it's strange why Yaakov was the last. So he needs to explain it. So this is the explanation, because Yaakov feel that he made something bad to Esav. So first, if Yaakov will meet Esav, so Yaakov will be angry. So this is why first you need to send the present, and only then meet in person, right? This is Pasuk Kav.
But what was Jacob thinking? Because if he really thought Esau wanted to kill him, then at the end Esau also had all the flocks and all the animals.
Oh, so I guess Yaakov was afraid about his wives and children, right? So animals, it's not.
Yes, but why he gave them away as a present? When he thought
in order to make peace. This
yeah,
is the
but
reason.
why he should? Because if the main issue of Esau was to kill him, okay, and if he would be successful, all the animals would also belong to him.
Yeah, maybe it's not all the animals. Most likely, it's part of the animals, right? So it would make sense that the most of the animals you will have with you, and you will say a present part of your animals, right?
But why, if I'm intending you to kill you, then
Oh,
I can take everything of you.
Yes, so of course there is a risk, right? So it is the reason that Yaakov's want to give the present, and this is the way how you make peace with someone, you give present, right? So Esav have this angry face, and Yaakov wants to make his face clean with help of this present that comes before Yaakov. And after Esav received a present, then Yaakov is ready to look at the face of Esav, Ulai Yisafana, and Yaakov have hope that Esav will forgive him. This was the plan. You don't like the plan?
No.
So if person is afraid, so he doesn't make good decisions, right?
But I think the main motivation from Esau was not to get the fortune of Yaakov, it was just bloody revenge.
Yes, but Yaakov have hope that if he will give something to Esav, then maybe he will change his mind, right? So then the present come, and Yaakov was remained during the night. So Yaakov planned to come after, right? After some time. ויקום בלילה ההוא ויקח את שתי נשיו ואת שתי שבחותיו ואת 11 ילדיו ויעבור את מעבר יבור. Oh, so here in the new scene, right? So the plan was that Yaakov will come after the flocks, right? But now in the next act, something happens very strange, right? Let's see. ויקום בלילה ההוא ויקח את שתי נשיו ואת שתי שבחותיו ואת 11 ילדיו ויעבור את מעבר יבור. So in the middle of the night, instead of sleeping, Yaakov starts to do something. He takes his wives and shevcha, how it's translated, maid servant, and his children, and he passed Ma'avar Yabok. Most likely it was some kind of river. ויקחם ויעברם את הנחל ויעבר את אשר לו. So Yaakov goes somewhere with all his family. So when you're crossing the river, so you send all the wives and children, so you come last. Yes, always Yaakov comes last. ויותר יעקב לבדו, ויאבק איש עמו עד אות השחר. So here Yaakov remains alone, and some ish person starts to fight him until the morning. What is this person? It's not clear. Wrestling. וירא כי לא יכול לו, ויגע בכף יוחו. So it's very strange story here. So this man pays attention that he cannot win the fight. So what he decided to do, ויגע בכף ירכו. So he attacked כף ירך. So ירך, this is here, where the leg. So kaf, what mean?
Hüfte auf Deutsch. Die Nerven.
Hip.
Den Nerven.
So it's somewhere here, right? ותקע כף ירך יעקב. So here was broken. So after it, Yaakov cannot go normally, right? So he have his leg broken, something like this. ויאמר שלחני כי עלה השחר. So this man says to Yaakov, Shalcheni, you should send me away, כי עלה השחר, because it's already the morning. Maybe he was a vampire. ויאמר לא אשלחך כי אם ברכתני. Yaakov says, I will not send you away until you bless me. ויאמר אליו מה שמך? So this person asks, what is your name? Only now. ויאמר Yaakov. And Yaakov saying, my name is Yaakov. ויאמר לא יעקב יאמר עוד שמך כי מישראל, כי שריתם אלוהים ועם אנשים ותוכל. Very interesting. So this is the central phrase here, that your name will not be Yaakov, but Israel. Why Israel? כי שרית. Sar. So Sar, this is the name of some ruler, like a king or prince, and this is the verb from this word, כי שרית עם אלוהים, עם אנשים ותוכל. So the meaning that you fight, you make fight with God, you made fight with people, ותוכל. And even that this fight is hard, still you win the fight. וישאל יעקב ויאמר הגיד נא שמך. So after Yaakov said his name, Yaakov asks the name of this person. ויאמר למה זה תשאל לשמי? So this person answering with the question, why are you asking for my name? ויברך אותו שם, and he blessed him there. Very strange. ויקרא יעקב שם המקום פניאל, כי ראיתי אלוהים פנים אל פנים, ותנצל נפשי. So here it's more than malach. So we have Ish and we have Elohim, and it's something very close. So Yaakov called this place Pniel. So it's like the face of God. Ki raiti Elohim, because Yaakov say, I saw God face to face, v'tinatzel nafshi. So Yaakov expected that he will die because he saw God, but instead, tinatzel nafshi, he was saved. Interesting. Very strange stories here. So instead of meeting Esav and going with all these flocks, Yaakov decides to go somewhere else in the middle of the night. So it looks like running away from Esav, right? Yeah, it's my theory. Yaakov was very much afraid. So like you said, right? This Esav wants to kill him, so why the present should help? Yaakov was not relying on this present and starts to run away, but then he meets Ish. And in the end, we understand that Ish, it is Elohim. It's the God, or maybe it's the messenger of God. So basically, my understanding that God wants Yaakov to meet Esav, and Yaakov afraid to meet Esav and tries to run away. So this is the words of this Ish. כי שריתם אלוהים בין האנשים. So you have quarrel or disagreement or fight with people, with Esav, and also with Elohim. So God says, you will be good, you should not afraid, you will have big family, but even that Yaakov had God's blessing, Yaakov still afraid and tried to run away. And God sends this man to convince Yaakov that Yaakov should not run away, but he needs to go to meet Esav. And Yaakov fights this man, and Yaakov was so strong that stronger than God, right? This is the name of Elohim, Israel, right? Israel. So Yaakov tries to fight everyone, to fight Esav, to fight God, and Yaakov succeeds, right? At the end. So Yaakov had problem with his leg, so he cannot walk straight like normal person. They translate limping. על כן לא יכלו בני ישראל גיד אנשי אשר אל כף הירך עד היום הזה כי נגע בכף ירך יעקב בגיד אנשי. So we have something additional here, that this is the reason why Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, they don't eat Gid Hanasheh. So Gid Hanasheh is the first time here. Before it was not mentioned. Asher al Kaf Yarech. Oh, so Kaf Yarech. So Yarech, this is leg, and Kaf Yarech, this is hip socket, they translate. Mm-hmm. So we have some nerve here on the leg, so we don't eat it ad hayom hazeh, until this day. What means this day? So this day, it's the day when this text was written, right?
In German, it's something like today. Until today, we don't eat it.
Until today, right? Kinaga b'chaf yerech Yaakov begid
Bis auf den heutigen Tag.
Heutigen Tag? So we have this old story that we learn now, but so it's the past, right? But we don't eat Gid Anashe in the present, because this past story. Kinaga b'kaf yerech Yaakov begid Anashe, because this ish damaged the leg of Yaakov at this place, Gid Anashe. Interesting. Okay, how many time we have?
11.
11. Okay. So now the meeting.
20 minutes?
Mm-hmm. The meeting of Yaakov with Esav.
Finishing the third.
It's very important meeting. So now it starts Kapitel Lamed Gimel, Perek 33. Vayisa Yaakov vayna vayar v'yineh Esav ba v'imo 400 ish. So Yaakov was not successful in running away, and Yaakov saw Esav approaching with 400 people. So what Yaakov should do now? Vayachatz. So his plan was to split to two camps, and this is what he's doing at Hayaldim. So all the kids, al Leah v'al Rachel. So we have the children of Leah, and we have the children of Rachel. So Yaakov split them in two groups, ve'al shtei shfachot, and also the servants of the wives comes to different groups. So Yaakov expects Esav to come to him. So Yaakov doesn't come to Esav because he's afraid. So Yaakov waits that Esav will come to him. So Yaakov needs to make an order. So first of all, the servants and their kids. So it's the least important. And then Leah. Yaakov doesn't love Leah. So then Leah and her kids. And the last, Rachel and Yosef. So this is the most precious. So this is the last. והוא אמר עבר לפניהם וישתחו ארצה 7 פעמים עד גשתו עד אחיו. So Yaakov trying to protect all his family and comes first and bows to Esav 7 times. עד גשתו עד אחיו. So he bows and comes closer, bows and comes closer. This is the methodic. וירוץ עשיו לקראתו ויחבקהו. So Esav was the opposite of Yaakov, right? So Yaakov does everything very slow, and Esav running towards Yaakov. Vayichabkehu, Esav hugs Yaakov. Vayipol al tzarva, vayishakehu. Esav kisses the shoulders of Yaakov, and then they cry. Vayisai enough, very romantic. וירא אנשים את ילדים ויאמר מי אלה לך? So Esav was expecting to meet Esav. Esav was expecting to meet Yaakov and not someone else. In addition, so and Esav saw the kids and the woman. So Esav asks, "Who are they to you?" ויאמר הילדים אשר חנן אלוהים את עבדיך. Yaakov says, God had mercy upon your servant, and I have kids. So the servants come and bow, and the kids come and bow. Interesting. So we see from Esav very good relation, on par, and Yaakov continue this relation, servant and master. So also Leah, they bow, and her kids. And also Yosef and Rachel, they bow to Esav. So Esav asks now about the flocks that Yaakov sent, and asks who was all this camp that I met. So Yaakov says it was in order to make peace with you, my master. Vayomer, not peace, chen. How I translate chen, I don't know. Favor. Favor. How they translate in German? This word chen. Let's see. למצוא חן. Gunst? What means Gunst?
Favor.
Okay, like favorite. Favorite. So if you like someone, right? So it's about you like or you don't like, right? It's Gunst.
No, the Gunst is leading me to like you. Okay.
Like sympathy.
Yeah, you're doing something good, and this is how I would change to like you. This is Gunst.
Interesting. ויאמר עשיו, יש לי רב, אחי, יהי לך אשר לך. So it's very interesting how they approach each other. We see very different style. So Esav is saying direct. Esav is saying, יש לי רב, I have a lot. אחי, my brother, יהי לך אשר לך. So what you have, you should have. I don't need it. It's the intention. ויאמר יעקב אל נא, אם נא, מצאתי חן בעיניך ולקחת מנחתי מידי, כי על כן ראיתי פניך כראות מאלוהים ותרצני. So Yaakov saying very long, official type of speech. Please don't, if I found sympathy in your eyes, if you would take my present from me. כי על כן ראיתי פניך, seeing your face is like seeing the face of God, ותרצני, and having a good relationship. כך נא את ברכתי אשר אהובת לך, כי חנני אלוהים, וכי יש לי קול. Very interesting. ויפצר בו ויקח. So Yaakov insists here that Esav will take bracha, אשר אהובת לך. So Yaakov trying to return back to Esav what he took from him, כי חנני אלוהים, because God is mercy for me. ויש לי כל. I have everything that I need. You can take it. ויפצר בו. So Yaakov was insisting. ויקח. And Esav took this present. The most interesting what happens now. ויאמר נישא ונלך ואלך לנגדך. So Esav has a proposal. So because Esav understands that this meeting is meeting of peace, So if you make peace, you need to be together. So Esav's saying, we need to go. So you will go and I will go parallel, near you. ויאמר אליו, אדוני יודע כי הילדים מחכים והצאן והבקר עלות עליי ודפקום יום אחד ומתה כל הצאן. So Yaakov trying to find an excuse why they should not go together. Because a lot of kids, so kids go slow, and also a lot of animals. So Esav with 400 men, they go fast, right? And all the animals, they will be slow. So this is why Yavor na Adoni lifnei avdo. So Yaakov asks Esav that my master will come before his servant v'ani adna'ala leiti. So it's like in modern Hebrew we say le'at. Yaakov will come slowly l'regel ha'mlacha asher lefanai with all his mlacha, its property. Asher lefanai u'leregel ha'yeladim regel. So the speed of kids, I will go like the speed of kids. So you will come to Seir, and I will come also to Seir, but I will come slowly. So then Esav have different proposal that shows his good relation to Yaakov, that part of his men, because Yaakov is saying that he's weak, he have a lot of kids, a lot of animals, so Esav suggesting that part of the guards will go to Yaakov. And Yaakov asks, why I should find sympathy in your eyes? It's very strange. So it's about fear, right? So when you're afraid of something, so it makes this paradox dynamic. On one hand, if you're afraid of something, you make it closer to you, but then you're afraid to accept it, right? So here, for example, all this story was to make peace with Esav. So after the peace we have a peace. So now Esav suggests to give a present also, but Yaakov doesn't want to take this present, and Yaakov said this strange phrase, Lama zeh mitzachen b'nei Adonai? Why should I have sympathy in your eyes? But all the story was to find sympathy in the eyes of Esav. It's very strange. So how the story ends? Vayashov b'yom hahu Esav ledarko Seir. So Esav went to Seir on his way. Yaakov nasa Sukkot. So Yaakov went to other place. Vayiben lo bayit. Yaakov building home without Esav. Ulemiknehu asa Sukkot. Al ken kara shem makom Sukkot. So Yaakov have a lot of animals and a lot of tents. So this is why this place called Sukkot. Sukkot is something that you do for animals. Okay, 2 more psukim until Lamed Dalet. Vayavo Yaakov shalem ir Shechem. Yaakov come shalem means without harm to the ear of Shechem. Asher be'eretz Canaan, in the land of Canaan, b'vayim Padan Aram. So Yaakov was coming back from Padan Aram to Eretz Canaan. Vayichan et pnei ha'ir. And Yaakov made camp there. And he buys the land b'me'ah ksita. I'm not sure what means ksita. They don't translate it here. Maybe it was type of coin. And he builds an altar and he names the altar the God of Israel. So this is the end of the story. And the next story, not today, about Dinah. Very sad story. Yes, so it's very interesting. Yaakov was afraid of Esav, so he made a meeting with Esav and give present. And Yaakov had intention to end the relationship here. And Esav, he accepted all the presents. And Esav had intention to make good relationships, but Yaakov doesn't want relationships with Esav for some reason that it's not clear, but most likely because he's afraid of Esau, and this is why they split apart. So it's not exactly happy end, it's kind of a compromise, right? What do you think about the story?
Yeah, also not easy. And maybe it was like, what's it called? How's it said? Like the Korban service, Korbanot, that if you want to repent, you also have to bring something to show your repentance, that it's like verbindlich, like
To make connection.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's not just words that they show you, like with action. And today, many people say, well, it's pretty easy if you just have to sacrifice an animal. But at that time, it was very bound to your fortune, you know?
So it's part of you.
It was not very easy. You were very related to the animals back in that time. It would be if I say, okay, sacrifice me your mobile phone or sacrifice me your PlayStation.
Oh, it's a good
You understand
example.
what I mean? Because it has a lot of value. I'm reading a book about zakat,
Tzedakah.
and it's saying